That makes my heart full because I love WordPress. And WordPress is not just an open source project that we believe in, but it's a social movement where most of us who use this believe in the power of democratizing publishing and owning our own data. So I very much love this project and love to see that more people are getting involved. So glad you guys are all here. I thought we were going to be like right on time, but we could probably, are we good? No.
One more minute.
Okay.
It's recording.
It's good.
Hopefully we have audio and everything, but we should be good to go at this point.
Okay.
We think.
We can get started.
As good as it's going to
Fingers
get.
crossed. I mean, it says record. Time will tell.
Yay. Yay. Okay, well, welcome everybody, and I hope you have lots of energy today. And everyone's going to all the things. Tomorrow night, the after party, you are going. Nobody's getting out of it. And I say that because I meet so many people go to work and they don't go to the after party. And if I look like I'm recommending you, I am. So everyone's going. Ready? We are all going. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started because Robert looks like he's ready. So first up on the docket is Robert Jacoby. I call him Jacobes. Most people call him Jacoby, I will say.
With an I.
Yes, Jacoby with an I. Yes.
Not to be confused with that other WordPress Jacoby.
That's right. The JJ. I always say John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, but he's John Jacob Jacoby. I think. Anyway, it's the John James Jacoby. I'm so sorry. Off topic. Okay, so we're going to get started officially. Everyone, let's get excited before we're going to clap and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do a little formal intro.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be really interesting because I don't think of Robert in a formal way. That's not a bad thing. Okay. Okay, so Robert Jacoby ran 3.5% of the internet. I don't know why I'm laughing. Okay. Today, as Chief Experience Officer for Blackwall, Robert connects Blackwall's security message and solutions with partners, customers, investors, as well as the greater security, open source, and online industries. With 20 years of experience and 2 successful acquisitions, Robert focuses on strategy and marketing. As director of WordPress, Cloudways, he was instrumental in 350 million acquisitions of Cloudways by DigitalOcean.
You obviously just started reading this one.
I did. I don't ever read it ahead of time. Because then you guys get to see my reaction in real life. Okay. Additionally, he is an international and respected speaker and has served and serves in multiple industry and open source roles, including President, Open Source Matters, Making WordPress Hosting, ICANN, and Internet Infrastructure Coalition. Robert loves his 2 4-legged family, as well as preparing for all sorts of meals. Ask him about it in his annual marinara weekend. I can attest, he gardens, he pickles things, but everyone give it up for Robert.
Thank you very much for telling that. It's completely reversed and on the spot. Yes. The 3.5% is when I was actually running the Joomla project, another open source CMS that some of you may remember or have heard of, but is a lot smaller these days. So I'm going to try this. I'll hold the mic, so we'll see how this little gameplay occurs. So it's Invisible CMS, and it's called Return because it's a presentation I have not done in over 4 or 5 years, give or take. And I thought it'd be interesting to come back to it. I ran an agency for over 15 years, so I have a lot of that sort of growing pains of going with what small person in the company wants to work with me to actually working with enterprise companies in the pharmaceutical space, financial space, Microsoft, and those during our agency days. And we did it all on Joomla, basically. And then we stopped using Joomla and we just closed the company. Because that's what happens when WordPress is king, which is not a bad thing. So this is the return, and I'll run through. I actually took a couple of slides from back in the day just to see how some of the numbers have changed. Well, let's dive in. Raquel's already done a wonderful introduction of me, so that's pretty simple. That's my email. I actually normally put my phone number on there. It's not on there, but if you want my phone number, I'll give it to you all and to the camera later. So let's start with the agency problem. How many people here are WordPress developers? Oh yeah. How many people became WordPress, started their agencies or solopreneurships or entrepreneurship because of WordPress. Oh wow, that is pleasantly smaller than I anticipated. Now you're going to screw up the whole presentation. A lot of folks come across WordPress and start an agency, and why would you do that? Let's start an agency. How many people actually do have their agencies, or work within an agency? Maybe that's even a better question. So that covers most of it. I love that you all raise your hands. In Europe, it's so hard to get audience participation. Perfect. And so why would we start an agency? So this is a 4-year-old slide. We all use WordPress. Of all the sites on the internet, WordPress runs 41+%, again, 4 years ago. And, working with an agency, great idea. Let's use WordPress. We have a WordPress agency. WordPress sites at that time were getting 1.6 million, that's per day. Oops, that should be per day. Probably 1.6 million unique visitors a day, not per month. Apologies for that. And the average developer income at that time, like 4-ish years ago, was 53,000 US. Let's jump into the future. And there we go through some numbers. The unique visitors per month has stayed the same per day. That stayed the same for all purposes. But now WordPress runs an additional 2% of the entire global internet. And the average developer salaries actually jumped significantly from 53 to 68,000 US per year. Average. I mean, there's all sorts of things, but if you kind of look at North American averages, that's around that range. So this is a great idea. Why would you not want to be a WordPress developer? No brainer. As we fly these slides. Hyped up on coffee, tells a crazy introduction, and it's fun to be on it. I said that, it's fun to be on it. So we gotta use WordPress. That's 43% of the internet, all this traffic, average developer income. This is a great idea. Let's all become WordPress developers. So that the next question is going to be, how many of you actually, when talking with customers, say, hey, I'm a WordPress developer? Yeah, see, everyone else is also you're saying the exact same thing. So that's sort of the problem. And we need to think about how we can fix that. From the Joomla agency days, we actually had no leg to stand on because no one even knew what Joomla was. Excuse me. So, we're geeky, we use open source, we use a content management system, it's called Joomla, and customers would just be like, that's no idea what you're talking about. What is this nonsense? We can't even spell Joomla correctly. Someone said sometimes? Or is that outside? That was you? So, we started at the agency going through kind of a list of things to just see where our gaps are, how can we fix those gaps, what are those places. And so, sort of from a day-to-day perspective, we asked ourselves questions like, do we do the front end well? Are we good designers? Do we understand the processes and needs and can have those communications with our clients? Are we back-end folk? Are we integrating with other APIs, doing custom databases, working on those kinds of tools? Design, so I do separate design and front-end, so front-end could be the CSS, actual work, and JavaScript, implementing design, content. Are we going to actually help you build content, drive that conversation, figure out the pain points, how we slowly move into SEO, which is a specific one there as well, and project management. So, these are things like, which of these things do we actually do well? Which of these things do we actually enjoy doing? So that's also part of what helps you do things well. Hate to do. So I like to throw in project management on all these slides because some people love doing project management, but agency hated doing project management. It was just the kind of, no pun intended, task-based work that we just didn't have brains to be disciplined around that. You might hate to do maintenance, support. You may also love to do these things, but I'm picking out examples that goad you folks to think about this. Coding, pictures, design, words, content. project management. How do you have project management? And then there's sort of the have to do. So you can like something and hate something, but your customer will still expect this to be in place in some way, shape, or form. So in this case, we kind of look at it as what is our horizontal capability. So you're going to have to have some kind of SEO in place. You're going to worry about performance, security, design, accessibility, which throwing down that into the slides years ago was some kind of like new crazy thing to talk about, accessibility. But now it's more and more expected because it's also a legal requirement. So definitely in the U.S., I assume Canada has a very similar set of regulations around that. And then you do have to do project management. Because if you don't, you'll never know where you are, where you're headed, and how much money you've lost on that project. Because until you start doing real project management and holding your clients accountable, you will lose a lot of money all the time trying to be your customer's best friend. Oh yeah, we just throw that in. That's not a problem. That's scope. What's scope? Project management is key. So then, we went through our set of questions in terms of what can we really do well, and we asked ourselves these questions, and this is what I hope all of you folks come away with is asking these questions. We really do back-end work. We're working with APIs, custom code, custom integrations, specifically for e-commerce companies, and even more so real estate, because we just happened to get a real estate client right away that was large enough that forced us to learn a lot of things. And we kind of accidentally became experts in a specific niche of the real estate market, so real estate investment trusts, which really separated us from any kinds of conversations with other agencies, because that is just too weird for most agencies to be like, yeah, we totally know how to handle a real estate investment trust. We know the regulatory issues around that. We know what to expect for content and what to present to partners and investors. Because really, REITs, REITs, are primarily investment vehicles, so you have to talk a lot to investors online. Let's look at fixing it a bit more. And this is where going through the things you hate to do is critical, because we want to talk about partnerships. And partners are key to solving a lot of these problems when you start going through your horizontal and vertical issues. Find out if your partners will create your own partner program system. So what does that entail? That entails understanding the needs you have, proactively looking for folks that can fill in those spaces. And folks can also be things. So what tools might be out there that you need? How can you build a relationship with that specific tool? So for example, you're using Gravity Forms. Reach out directly to Gravity Forms. Talk to the product managers at Gravity Forms. Connect with them at Post Status or on LinkedIn and all those things. Get a hold of them. Say, we exclusively use, there's guys ready to exclusively, for our forms, for all of our customers, we want to exclusively use Gravity Forms. How can you help support us in that endeavor? Technically, are there marketing development funds that you can help me advertise or support my business? MDF they're often referred to, so a lot of product producers, solution buyers will have marketing development funds to help grow my business, because every time my business grows, I want to use some of your solutions, and that'll help your business grow. So look for those kinds of relationships where they may be missing, both on the people aspect and the technology aspect. On the people side, contracting has become easier and easier over the last 5 years for sure. COVID forced us all to become independent contractors at one point or another, and we all know how to work remotely now, which at the time is also not as comfortable for everyone. So being able to find the right people is also great. Finding that designer doesn't have to be a full agency. We work with a specific agency. We have a partnership and exclusivity with a specific agency in Chicago. And they get buy-in in the game. I mentioned marketing development funds.